do. So let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen.
Right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey.
Hello everyone, welcome back to channel.
Hello.
कसे आहात सगळे? मजेत ना? मजेतच असायला हवं. तर आज आम्ही चाललोय सद्गुरू यांचा सेकंड सेमिनार दुबईमध्ये आहे. तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना माहीतच असेल की सद्गुरू सेव्ह सॉइल म्हणून जो एक अनोखा उपक्रम करतायत तर ते 100 दिवस वेगवेगळ्या देशांमध्ये जाऊन असं सेमिनार करत आहेत. त्यातलाच आज एक सेमिनार दुबईमध्ये आहे. काल एक झाला, आज दुसरा सेमिनार आहे. तो सेमिनार अटेंड करण्यासाठी आम्ही दुबई म्युझियमच्या ऑडिटोरियममध्ये जाणार आहोत आणि तिकडे जाऊन तुम्हाला भेटतो आणि तिथे थोडंसं माहिती देतो की कसा आहे तो सेमिनार आणि तिकडे दाखवणार आहे. तर आमच्याबरोबर राहा आणि शेवटपर्यंत हा व्हिडिओ पहा. चला तर मग तिकडे जाऊया आणि मग भेटूया. तर हे आहे म्युझियम, फ्युचर ऑफ म्युझियम. इथेही आपण लवकरच जाणार आहोत, पण त्यासाठी तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना लवकर सबस्क्राईब करायला लागेल जेणेकरून जास्तीत जास्त लोकांपर्यंत हा व्हिडिओ भेटेल बघायला. आता याच्या पाठीमागे ऑडिटोरियम आहे, तिथे जाणार आहोत. सद्गुरूंचा कार्यक्रम आहे तो तिथे. चला तर मग जाऊया आतमध्ये. ही म्युझियमची एंट्रन्स आहे. त्यात तुम्ही बघू शकता तिकीटला लाईन लागली आहे. त्यांना बघू शकता खूप मोठी लाईन आहे इथे. इथे आहे सद्गुरू फ्युचर टॉक सेशन आणि हे फ्युचर म्युझियम. तर आम्ही ऑनलाईन रजिस्टर केलं होतं म्हणून आम्ही डायरेक्ट आतमध्ये जातो. इथे ते QR कोडला स्कॅन करतात. थँक्यू सो मच. तर आम्ही आता एंटर केलंय. हे बघा, लॉबीपर्यंत यायला फ्री आहे. इथे येणार असेल तर इथे लॉबीपर्यंत फ्री आहे. वरती म्युझियममध्ये जायचं असेल तर 140 और 150 समथिंग तिकीट आहे. 140-80 दिरहम. बघू शकता इकडनं आपण वरती आलो. हे वरती जाण्यासाठी अजून खूप फ्युचरमध्ये कसं असेल ते सगळं दाखवलंय त्यांनी. आणि इकडनं एंट्रन्स आहे ही वाली. हे आहे सद्गुरूंचं टॉक शो. नमस्कार. थँक्यू. फ्रीमध्ये ज्यूस पण सर्व करतात. ऑरेंज, लेमन. नमस्कार. छान वेलकम करतायत नमस्कार करून. आणि हे बघू शकता
असं हाईट पाहिजे. इथून खालून घेतलं तर ते माणसं आहेत. कुठे चालू
त्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला क्रिया शिकायला. अच्छा. त्याच्यासाठी तुम्हाला दुसरं सेशन घ्यायला. ते झाल्यावर तुम्ही इनर इंजिनिअरिंग कंप्लीट करा. तो आहे बेसिक कोर्स. ते झाल्यावर मग तुम्ही ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टींमध्ये येऊ शकता.
ऑनलाईन आहे.
हां, ऑनलाईन
आहे. ते ईशामध्येच आहे ना, ईशा फाउंडेशनमध्ये. मी वाचलं इनर इंजिनिअरिंग म्हणून म्हटलं.
We are talking about climate change, carbon emissions, and global warming and various other aspects. But we are not addressing soil. Soil is the habitat upon which zillions of lives thrive. Once there is no richness in soil, then you have forsaken the planet in many ways. Every responsible scientist in the world and the UN agencies are clearly saying we have only 80 to 100 harvests left. That means approximately 45 to 50 years of agricultural soil left on the planet. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we are producing right now, and our populations will be 9.3 billion people. The food shortages that could manifest in the next 25 years, the consequences of that is unimaginable. Civil wars will unfold across the world once there is food shortage. What we are facing now is soil extinction. Why is soil becoming extinct? Where is it going away? What is happening to our soil? We must understand, if you add organic content to sand, sand will turn into soil. If you remove all organic content from the soil, soil will become sand. In normal agricultural soil, the minimum organic content should be between 3 to 6%. The most minimum is 3%. At least this minimum to keep the soil alive, to keep the soil as living soil is a must. Agricultural soils across the world, the depletion is so heavy. In most countries, more than 50% of the topsoil is already gone in the last 100 years. The nutrient levels have dropped significantly. The level of micronutrients you would get from your food in early 20th century to what you are getting from the same food now has dropped 90%. If you ate one orange in 1920s, what you got from it? Now in 2020, if you have to get the same, you will have to eat 8 oranges. This is what we have done to our food.
Soil is the biggest ecosystem on the planet, and so few people know anything about it. 1 teaspoon of healthy soil probably contains more microbes than there are people on Earth.
The microbial life in the first 12 to 15 inches of topsoil is the basis of our existence. It is this magic beneath our feet which has produced the life that we are. This first 12 to 15 inches of soil is the basis of life for 87% of life on this planet, including you and me.
We have to begin to recognize that what we call our soil, Mother Earth, is a living organism.
Open soils, ripped open by plowing, open to sunlight, is the basis of destruction of microbial life. So the focus should be on agriculture, the focus should be on seeing that land is under shade as much as possible. Some kind of shade, grasses, herbs, bushes, trees. Conscious Planet is launching Save Soil movement to bring about a policy change to regenerate soil. As a part of this, I'm 65 and I'm riding 30,000 kilometers, a lone motorcycle journey, 30,000 kilometers across 24 nations to activate support from the citizenry to assure the governments long-term investments will be appreciated. So it's extremely important that soil regeneration is enshrined in the policy of every government on the planet. We must change the narrative on the planet that soil is a wealth, a legacy we have received from previous generations, and we have to pass it on as living soil for future generations. We are in a cusp of time. If we do the right things now, in the next 15 to 25 years, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil. But if we allow this to progress like this for another 30 to 40 years, after 40 years if we attempt this, then it would take 150 to 200 years, because that much loss of biodiversity would have happened. From 21st of March for 100 days, the whole world, every human being on the planet should talk soil. So we must hear the word soil, save soil everywhere, to see that the narrative on the planet changes towards the most vital aspect of our life, the soil. Each one of you should reach as many people as you can to make this happen. Many global leaders and influencers are already participating in the movement. Be a part of this and let us make it happen.
For my part, as much as I can contribute.
بالحركة ننقل التربة لنفعل ذلك على أرض الواقع بمبادرات عملية وجادة ملموسة الأثر. ننقل التربة save soil.
And the movement that you are taken up, I could not expect any more God's blessing than that.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Today, the 21st of May.
So what you call as my genetics is again memory. Like this, there are 8 silos of memory: conscious memory, unconscious memory, articulate memory, inarticulate memory, like this 8 forms of memory. It's only because this silo of memory is there, intellect is active in the front end. But now, how this information will function in the front end depends upon the second aspect of intelligence, which is identity. If you're identified as I'm this nation, I'm an Indian, I'm an Indian, I'm an Indian, I'm willing to fight and die for this, isn't it? How strongly you're identified makes you that much limited to that identity. Whether it's a nationality, race, religion, gender, you name it, we have taken thousands of identities. But the moment you're identified, this identity will decide whatever information you have, how it functions within you is determined by this identification. Or to give it an analogy, if you see buddhi or the intellect as a sharp knife, the hand that holds it is the identity. The memory is deep inside. So these 3 dimensions of intelligence normally happening almost like an automatic process. If you bring awareness to it, if you bring consciousness to it, there are many miraculous things you can do. But if I have all the information about you, about your life, still it could be wrong this moment, because a human being is a possibility. This moment you may be something other than what information I have, isn't it so?
Yes.
His tail is on fire. I say, hey, what's the problem with you? What is it that you're trying to do? Sadhguru, I want to earn $1 billion. I said, don't worry, tomorrow I will give you $1 billion. Really, Sadhguru, you will make $1 billion? I said, yes. He had come with 8 of his friends. I said, look at these 8 guys. I'm going to give all of them $10 billion. You will get $1 billion. Sadhguru, why Sadhguru? They're getting $10 billion. I mean, you only asked for $1 billion. So with $1 billion, if the other 8 guys have $10 billion, this guy still is a beggar.
The reason I'm standing up to talk today is to introduce you to my son. He's 30 years old now. He's never spoken in his entire life. And he started communicating through a communication board about 3 years ago. And he was pretty much written off as somebody who didn't have much of intellect, chitta, buddhi as he called it. About 3 years ago when he started writing poetry. And I'd like to offer this scroll to you. It's a poem that he wrote about a couple of weeks ago, which went viral on the Save the Soil consciousness. the story if you don't mind.
Oh, you can read it from there, no?
Sure, I could.
Okay, whichever way you want to do it.
I can read it. Vikram wrote this poem a couple of weeks ago after he heard your speech, your talk, Sadhguru. It's called Golden Sludge.
What's his name, please?
Vikram.
Vikram. You can hear me, Vikram? Yeah.
Vicky? Sadhguru speak.
Vikram?
Golden Sludge. Will you miss the earthy aroma of the first rain? Brown puddles of nature's streamy brew? When it's time to feed the species its seasonal grain, reaping earthen bounty for its motley crew. Amazonian lungs heaving, breathing, stifling smog, snuffing out paradise from its God-given landscape. Rue not your self-indulgent quest to conquer run amok. Leave not our motherly feeding bowl with little left to scrape. Acrid plumes of acid rain burning already scorched earth, saplings burned in the surrogate tracks of machine-tilled factories. Snuffing life's will for birth and rebirth, drowning wails of coming generations' soulless stories. The ground below making way for 6-foot coffins, worms dwelling in lifeless habitat, sentencing the planet back to its arid origins. Wake up to feed the swan before it chokes in the starving.